if you're someone who's been really successful, you may start to think you're always right, that your methods are the only methods. But just talk to me about the challenges of dealing with executives and CEO types when trying to help them be better builders, be better leaders.
Sure. So when I'm dealing with the type of leader who may be more blunt and may be somewhat corrosive in his or her communications, if you will, is that putting it politely enough? When I'm dealing directly with those people and helping them understand the impacts of their approach, it can be very delicate, Max. I mean, there's a lot, again, you've been around this industry. There's a lot of people who, any sign of trying to soften their approach or make them be more thoughtful or slow down is dismissed, is seen as a bunch of fluff, right? Now, in 2023, I think by and large, leaders are aware of, this idea of executive coaching and how it benefits them. But again, human nature, especially if it's been 2 or 3 decades of having these behaviors, it could be tough to attack. So the number one thing, again, it depends on the audience, obviously, but the number one thing is to help them understand how their actions are adversely impacting the bottom line, whatever that bottom line is for them, right? It could be as simple as money. It could be simple as their bonus. It could be simple as their legacy. It might be more personal in nature, but that's the first sort of step. And again, a lot of times it might not be blatant on my end, Max, because I need to avoid trigger words. And again, that can sound kind of silly, but it's true. My goal is to disarm the people that might be inclined to pounce, if you will, or have some of those edgier personalities. So it's me finding ways to disarm them. And there's a lot of different ways to do that. Again, it depends on the audience. Sometimes it's humor. Sometimes, again, it's literally just mapping out how they communicate, who they're connected to, what their ultimate goals are, doing a little reverse engineering, and then finding those holes in their approach, or again, some areas of corrosion. So again, sort of a long-winded answer to that element, but that's the key. On the flip side, and I spent a lot of time with this too. Obviously, I'm working with individuals who need to communicate with those people directly, and their job is not to coach somebody in the C-suite who might be a little rough and might not be the best listener, might not have an open mind. So I help those people identify ways to disarm their audience. And again, sometimes it's humor, sometimes it's little tips and tricks, and we can talk about some of the detailed ones and different scenarios. But it all comes down to disarming. Whether it's me disarming somebody so that they can work better, or me giving other people the tools to disarm their audience so that they can get their message across without as much fear as they might have going into it, if that makes sense, Max.